Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to our virtual grant reception for the first time. I guess this has kind of become the norm in our current environment. But on behalf of Variety, the Children's Charity, I'd like to welcome you today to our virtual grant reception. Today is a fun day for us here in the office, as well as all of our board members, and because this is the day that we get to celebrate and provide grants to you as organizations that will impact the lives of children throughout the state of Iowa. So on behalf of Variety, thank you for what you are doing in our community. You know, we're very, very fortunate to have hardworking and committed boards. We have our state board, we have our Eastern Iowa board, and we have our Young Variety board. And I just want to take a minute to thank them for their time, energy, and dedication that they provide to Variety throughout the year. And a special thanks to my executive team for providing the guidance and the support throughout the year. Susan Hatton, Lance Gardner, Gabe Olson, Kim Hedges, Polly Loneman, Danny Byer, and Mike Crowley. Thank you. You know what? We are only as strong as we are together, and I truly appreciate all of the support that you provide. So I think that we can all agree that 2020 has been like nothing that we've ever seen before. And we have talked several times over the last several months about how fortunate we were to get our telethon in right before the outbreak of COVID and the restrictions. And so we are so happy that we were able to have our telethon. But in addition to that, like you, we have had to make adjustments due to the current restrictions. And I know we've all done that through what we're doing right now with our Zoom calls. Many of you know me very well, and you know that this isolation is not good for me. I like to be around people, and I get energy from people. So just seeing your faces today makes a big difference, but I cannot wait for the day that we can see each other face to face and go back to whatever our new normal is going to be. So with that, I would like to introduce Susan Hatton, our 2019-20 board president. And I told Susan last night that her presidency has been full of surprises, unlike any that I've ever experienced. But we kept our focus and we continue to make an impact. And Susan, I am so proud of your leadership and honored to call you my friend. And with that, we'll turn it over to Susan.
Well, thank you, Sherry, and I echo your sentiments and also the sentiments around our executive board of directors, our state and Eastern Iowa board, and our office. We just have, we've seen challenges much like all of you have this year and tried to rise above them. So I have to start with a little humor. So Sherry, as you all know, is spot on in terms of she needs the social, she needs that engagement. And I realized what we're missing in our Zoom event this morning. We needed walk-up music for her. We needed something like walk-up music. So trust that if we have another Zoom event, Variety related, we will have walk-up music for Sherry to get her really jazzed. So, but with all seriousness, thank you all for being here this morning. You know, it's been a year of numbers, right? It's been a year of 2020 led us into almost where we are now in terms of I don't know about you, but I'm counting down to the new year simply so that we can roll over 2020 and start something fresh again. But it was also a year of celebratory numbers, and those numbers came true in the form of Variety's impact. And even in a year of pandemic and great strain economically and emotionally for so many of us, that we were still able to raise funds in order to support all of you, and that means the world to our organization. So again, just a few numbers to put a smile on your face. Over the course of our year, we provided more than 500 bicycles, helmets, and locks, as well as safety training to kiddos throughout the state of Iowa that had not previously had a bicycle. And many of these, as you know, are in school districts and areas of communities that are in great need of support. And there's nothing like seeing a child receive their first bicycle. It truly is like Christmas Day for them, and it's pretty special to be a part of those moments when we can do that. Also, thanks to our police departments that have stepped in to help us when we go through our safety trainings. It is also pretty neat to see the kids interact with our police departments to know that they're a part of their communities as well. We also provided 62 pieces of mobility equipment. For those of you that have been a part of those gifting and giving programs, it's very impactful to see a family receive a piece of specialized equipment that is making a difference, not only for their child, but truly for their families. So thank you for those of you that have been a part of those. Variety also broke ground on a very special piece of playground equipment. So for those of you in the Des Moines Metro, you likely know about the Star Playground at Riverview Park. This is our third annual adaptive playground that is all inclusive, and we're so excited. We're so eager to have our ribbon cutting and to invite you all to be there. So more to come on that. And then Variety's Compassion Fund, which many of you have taken part in, either answering phones or being a part of our 2 days of compassion. We provide financial assistance and help to hundreds of children and families who are experiencing financial strains due to critical illnesses, and most of the time due to extended hospital stays. So we could go on and on about the numbers, but I'm sure you are most excited to hear about the numbers that are impacting each of your organizations. So with that, I will turn it back over to Sherry, and again, thank you all for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Susan, and thank you so much for your leadership over the last year. Susan has been, is a true testament to starting young. Susan got involved with Young Variety and led our Young Variety board, and has been involved with at our international level on a Young Variety standpoint, joined the state board and then the executive team, and took over as president. So thank you, Susan, for the wonderful support and the years of support that you've provided to Variety, and we look forward to continuing that relationship. So as Susan talked, and I think that we all know here more than ever, is that the need continues, and quite honestly is greater than it's ever been. You know, and that is why Variety keeps popping for Iowa's kids. And today we are so excited to be providing grants totaling more than $1.9 million throughout the state of Iowa, which will benefit children through the wonderful work that you as organizations are providing. As much as I would love to have each and every one of you tell your story of how you're impacting our community and the state of Iowa, I don't think that anybody wants to sit on a Zoom call for that long. And so with that, I'm going to ask 4 individuals to make some comments about their grant and the impact that Variety's dollars are going to have with their organization and the children that they're serving. So our first grantee is Jeanette Archer Simons, who is with Area Substance Abuse Council in Cedar Rapids. And Jeanette, can you just share a little bit about Variety's grant and impact?
Sure. Thank you, Sherry, and thank you for all the good work that Variety does. You have helped our children in substance use programs find joy in their lives as their mothers are receiving treatment. So in the last year, we've had 171 moms receive substance use treatment in residential facilities, and they brought with them a total of 317 children. 180 were under the age of 5. So imagine 317 children descending on a treatment facility that's designed to help their mom transition from dealing with their substance use disorder to creating a healthy home. And we want those children to experience the opportunities of what a healthy family and healthy lifestyle looks like. So we asked Variety to help support the remodel, and actually last year they supported mulch related to our outdoor play area. And we have a 20-year-old dilapidated playground that Variety is helping us to update. Because play therapy is one way to give children confidence, have them find joy in their lives, have them build trust in their relationship with their parent, so that when the mom does complete treatment and continue on in maintaining that family, that child both is with the parent during the process so they can build the trust and they move forward in a healthy way. So we could not be more delighted with the ongoing support of Variety to help our children get their own therapy as a result of their moms working through the challenges of substance use. So I think that is a quick summary of our commitment to children, much like Variety, and our commitment to making sure that communities have healthy places for children to excel and be successful, even when they're faced with tough circumstances like their mom being treated for substance use.
Well, thank you, Jeanette. Thank you very much for sharing your story and also for everything that you're doing for both these moms and the kids that you know you're helping. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Sherry Nielsen with the Easter Seals.
Good morning, everyone. A big shout out to Variety, and thank you so much for all of your work. Easter Seals supports children across the state of Iowa through a variety of different programs, including our Child Development Center, our respite and camp programs, our teen day programming, and vocational, pre-vocational work to ensure that teens are getting the support that they need to transition into successful adult. And I can tell you, it doesn't matter the program, Variety has touched it and supported it and held it up so that we could be more successful. We are absolutely thrilled this year to receive dollars to support our new Child Development Center. We have been providing child development support for families for many years with the help of Variety over the years. And our center is busting at the seams. We're currently serving about 70 children. It's an integrated child care center, so we're serving children with and without disabilities. In addition to that, children who live in poverty and their families need some support and assistance to ensure that the family can work and the child gets the best care while their families are working. So with Variety support, we're going to be able to double our new center, being able to serve 120 children. I'm sure because there's so many great providers out there that are supporting the development of children throughout the state of Iowa, that everyone knows that we are facing huge licensed childcare shortages. We know how important it is that kids have a safe, good experience in those early years of development. And because of Variety, we're going to be able to welcome additional children. We're going to be able to have more children who live in poverty access services. And we're going to be able to have a large indoor motor room that will allow children to have exercise even when we're facing those Iowa winters. You know, it's amazing to me this summer, Easter Seals, like so many of you, I'm sure, we're changing and pivoting to be able to serve our families and make sure that their needs were met. And we were really able to spread out on our campus and make sure that we could continue to provide support because of so many things that Variety has done. Whether that be supporting us redo our pool, which allowed kids exercise and fun activity this summer, or even some of the most simple things of having accessible bathrooms so that we can support children who need one-on-one cares in the bathrooms, to having a beautiful playground where children could play and we could create a sense of normalcy. We couldn't do it without Variety, and we love you guys because you say yes to us, and that allows us to say yes to families. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate everything that you're doing, and we also love the cookies that you bring to the office every once in a while. So those are special treats for us. So I've learned something about Zoom today that I have not experienced, and that is that apparently we are at the maximum, and people are unable now to join. So had no idea about that. So I'm learning as we go. So something new, but we will make those adjustments. So John Douglas, who is with Wilkie House, realized that he couldn't jump on the Zoom call, so he got in his, I'm going to assume your trusty Variety van, and hauled over here. And so he's here in the office, and he's going to talk about Variety's grant to Wilkie House and the impact that it's going to provide. So
Awesome.
jump on in.
So I'm going to move all of these people 6 feet away so I can take my mask off. Okay, we're good. There we go. As you can tell, Mr. John, we're real fancy. Want to make sure everybody knows who we are. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. I feel like I actually ran from the Wilkie House over here, so if I sound out of breath, that is why. I would love to give a huge thank you to Variety. We originally had the 2 vans in the background so you could see the true difference that it has made for our organization. When I came in, transportation was one of the absolute first things that I felt I needed to address. Not only, and I'm going to let you know, as Sherry knows, I'm a blunt, honest, and kind of long-winded, but I'll keep it to 3 to 5. But the safety was a problem, and honestly, the buses just looked janky. Our kids were kind of embarrassed to be picked up by them, even though I let the kids know, you are here for us to embarrass you. That's why you're youth, that's why you're kids. That's a benefit of being an adult. Now we have beautiful vans. The kids actually, I remember picking them up for the first time and they started bragging to their friends about these vans. Hearing a middle schooler brag about being picked up by someone like me is a very rare thing. I think many of you can imagine. So being able to hear that from them was just absolutely heart-touching. These vans have not only made it possible for our kids to feel proud of the Wilkie House and the help that they're receiving, but also expand our programs. Not only partnerships, but most importantly, to me, it would be the youth and the families. Safety is no longer an issue. We have this possibility to go pick up other schools because there are many schools in the area. I oftentimes tell people in Des Moines, there are enough kids that need our help. We can all partner and make sure that we are able to reach every single youth that we can in order to reach those goals. Really quick, for those of you who might not know much about the Wilkie House, we are a historically Black nonprofit youth development center, over 100 years of history in Des Moines. I feel very blessed that I got the job about 2 years ago, and we've been able to expand programming. We've been able to improve our building. We've truly opened up to the community. We have Black Lives Matter events come in. We have Girl Scouts events come in. We've had Sweet 16s, baby showers, and birthday parties as well. My ultimate goal is for us to be able to open up to the whole community so that they know we are here to support them. Variety has been a huge help, not only within the grants that they've given us, but also the opportunities. We got to take our kiddos to see polo. I had never seen polo. My kids had definitely never seen polo. They were more excited to even see a horse. Those type of things are such a great opportunity that Variety gives to us and that we are more than happy to have our kiddos go to. And they actually asked me on a Saturday, can we go back to that fancy hotel or can we go see the horses? The fact that kids want to take their Saturdays off to come and do events with us. I mean, I know Mr. John isn't really cool anymore. The younger kids are way cooler, but they still truly enjoy this opportunity to be with us. And I just have to give a huge thank you to all of you who are here, all of the board members and everyone who gives to Variety, as well as Variety itself. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Well, I'm going to disagree. I think Mr. John's pretty darn cool. So I'll hang out with you any day. And then our last grant impact story is from Emily Westergaard with By Degrees. So Emily?
Hello. Thank you so much, Sherry, and all of the Variety, the Children's Charity staff. Everyone in your office has done so much work over the past number of months as everything has changed. So thank you. I'm Emily Westergaard. I'm the CEO of the By Degrees Foundation. Just a little bit of background. We work to make sure more kids graduate from high school and that they graduate ready to pursue some sort of education after high school, whether that's college, vocational training, the military, trade school, anything that's going to help them get that job they love. What makes our work unique is that we start working with kids and families all the way back in kindergarten, working very long-term, creating very proactive support systems to help the students and the families and the schools really navigate that process of how you get from kindergarten to high school graduation and beyond. So in 2014, we launched our new programming at Findlay Elementary over on the northeast side of Des Moines, and have expanded to Findlay Elementary and now Harding Middle School. And our next step was really North High School. We wanted to create a 12-year pipeline of supports. So Findlay students all go to Harding, all of Harding students go to North. It's a great place to start. North has a lot of opportunities. North High School here in Des Moines, 1,300 kids. About 90% of our kids there are eligible for federally free breakfast and lunch. 25% qualify for special education support, and 16% are still even just learning English. We also know from data that the schools collect that only 62% of our students at North are academically on track, and only 18% are in any way sort of college ready. So we know that there are a lot of challenges and a lot of opportunities at North High School to continue that pipeline and continue providing support for those students, as well as creating support systems and systemic structures that help every student at North High School. So we are thrilled to be able to partner with Variety, the children's charity, this year to expand our programs at North, even in this weird time that looks a little different. But we're particularly excited to be able to expand our programs to support all of the students at North, which also includes a fair amount of students that are refugees or come from refugee families. We did some digging when we started talking with Variety earlier this spring and learned that we have about 500 students that are in the North High School pipeline that come from refugee families. They come from Thailand, Tanzania, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Mozambique, Uganda, Nepal, Guinea. I mean, I have a whole list here. So we know that particularly those students are going to have some different opportunities and challenges. So what By Degrees is doing with Variety, the children's charity support this year, is pivoting our work, our programs, our supports to the virtual world, just like all of you are doing. And we're also creating some really interactive and engaging college and career readiness curriculum that can be deployed in this virtual setting to make sure that every student is getting that information and is getting that support as they navigate through. It's probably too late if we just go into a 12th grade classroom and say, hey, what are you going to do after high school? So we're backing up those conversations a lot earlier. We know this year that with this grant, we're also going to be able to create some new mentoring programs. Our students have asked for that. And we know that keeping kids engaged is going to be really different and challenging this year. So we're thinking outside the box and trying to determine how we can best do that. So with Variety, the children's charity support, we are going to work on establishing these programs that will ultimately help lead to increasing high school graduation rates, decreasing the mobility rates, students that maybe come to North one year and then leave and go somewhere else, and establishing that consistent post-secondary preparation at every grade level. We've already transitioned a lot of those programs to the virtual world and are excited to be able to do this work now this fall with Variety support. And a lot of you, we're also partnering with a lot of the other nonprofits that are here today and that also receive support from Variety, the children's charity. So we just want to send a big, huge thank you to Variety, to the executive committee, to all of the staff at Variety, and to our community that really creates opportunities like this that are so important. So thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Emily and I have had a lot of conversation over the summer, and I think that we can all agree that, one thing that continues to be at the top of my mind is the impact that not being in school since mid-March is having on our children, and the impact, because we all know that when kids go to school, it's not just about reading, writing, and math. It's also about socialization and interacting with different adults and parents and relatives and so forth. And so for everybody who is providing those services virtually, kudos to you for adapting and making sure that Iowa's kids are being kept up to date and connected with, and receiving the services that they are so in need of. So thank you to everybody that just spoke. We really appreciate you sharing your story. And again, thank you to everybody on the call for the wonderful work that you're doing. This is what it's about. It's about all of us coming together and working together and making it the best state that it can possibly be for our kids. So I'm sure that you've kind of wondered, with the invite and the mention of Variety Keeps Popping for Iowa's Kids, what the significance of that is. And I'm going to tell you that if you haven't visited Almost Famous Popcorn in Cedar Rapids or Des Moines, today is your opportunity, because what we are going to do, we thought it would be fun, instead of just mailing the checks and then, you know, maybe I get to see some of you a little bit, at least from a distance, from 1 to 2 p.m. this afternoon, you can come to Almost Famous Popcorn here in Des Moines at 350 East Locust Street, Suite 103, which is located in the East Village, or in Cedar Rapids at 1121 3rd Street Southeast, and that's located in the Czech Village. And you will be able to pick up your check along with a special treat from Variety. Now, that's for everybody that's living right in the Des Moines and Cedar Rapids metro. We don't want anybody driving an hour or even 45 minutes or whatever to pick up your check and to pick up your special treat. So for anybody living outside the metro areas, we will mail your check to you along with your special treat. I guarantee you that if you have not been to Almost Famous Popcorn, that it will be on your list of favorite places to go. So we're just really excited to throw a little fun in there along the way, and to make sure that you're getting your check in a timely manner. Now, that being said, just be prepared to show photo ID and a business card or something for verification. Many of you I already know, but we just want to make sure that we're not handing a check to somebody that comes in and says that they're with an organization and we make a mistake. So just be prepared to do that. And with that, I am just going to say thank you. Thank you again. We are so proud to support all of you, all the organizations that you represent here today, and the impact that you're having throughout the state of Iowa. And again, thank you for attending our very first, and I hope last, a virtual grant reception. So enjoy your day. And for all of you here in the Des Moines area, I will see you, hopefully I will see you in a couple of hours. For those of you in Cedar Rapids, Robin will be our director over in Eastern Iowa. Robin will be at the store in Cedar Rapids, and you will see her there as well. And then the rest of you outside those metro areas, we will go ahead and get those in the mail and delivered to you. So again, congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us.